the Table Rock area at 4:45. This would be staying out over a lot of rural areas, which, again, if you know any viewers down here near the Pawnee City area, this is something to pay attention to. So here in the next 5 minutes or so, Table Rock, this could be going right through the center of Pawnee City right now. The rotation would be going right over top of the city. That is the county seat of Pawnee County. Tornado warning goes through 5:15. Again, as this moves closer to the radar, we will get a little better bead on it, have a little better idea of what is happening. Next time I pause, I will. All right, folks. So let's get an idea of what we have happening here. Notice how it's not a solid line of storms. This does not mean everybody is going to get a storm out of this one, but you can see how this is evolving right now. There's your line. Everything that fires along it is going to be moving pretty much north, maybe a little bit northwest, and every single storm is rotating, and some are rotating very, very well at the moment. Pawnee City, hope you're in your safe place. If you know anybody there, call them, let them know. This is the storm of greatest concern as of right now. Would be this one down here in the Pawnee City area. For this warning that goes through 5:15, you can see the cities involved with it. Cook, Johnson, Pawnee City, and Tecumseh. Table Rock area would be next in line for this to move through in less than 5 minutes. As this is moving to the north. There is nothing down here south of it to get in its way either. Usually you get a little bit of storm activity that would get in the way, possibly kind of mess up its ability to hold on to this area of rotation. We are not seeing that at the moment. So that is something we'll need to watch very, very closely as it lifts off to the north here. And that would be the storm of greatest concern. If it's going to hold together, it's probably deeper into the 5 o'clock hour if it's going to hold together and make its way towards the metro. That area, that particular part of the rotation probably won't, but it could be something that's cyclical and forms a new one every so often. So let's get an assessment here and see what we have happening otherwise. So I'm going to kind of set up the scenario for you of what we have happening out there right now. Bring in some maps, a couple of things. Hail threat is probably the biggest concern of what we have happening as of right now. Tornado would be number 2 on the list, but every one of these storms is rotating like crazy. So let's show you the wind speeds right now that are out there at the moment. They're essentially, there's a boundary right through here. And as it moves through, it's going to be the catalyst for storms. It'll keep feeding those. Plenty of energy rolling up out ahead of it. And that is what's going to move through and go from basically southwest to northeast through the area. You look at the temperature map as of right now, and we got all the warmth we need, folks. It is going to be could be a long evening out there. Here's the threat list that I have for you at the moment. Hail, probably the biggest issue. Have had reports of some up over an inch in a few spots out west. Now, some 1 to 2 inch diameter hail would be the problem for most of these storms. Again, a tornado and some wind gusts. Also, what we're tracking as well, you see the timeline of what we have happening with this. And I can show you from about 4 o'clock onward. You can see how these storms move in. Again, it's not popping the storms in the exact location each time, but as we go through 5 and into 6 o'clock, there they go. And by 7, most are in Iowa and moving east. And then the threat's still going here as we make our way towards 9 o'clock. They should be exiting our area to the east, and the tornado threat and the tornado watch would be done by then. So here is the latest look at the radar at the moment. The storm down to the south is what we are dealing with right now. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to come back with you here in just a little bit. We're going to try to get this live stream up on YouTube as well. Let everybody know about this. If you are watching from this location, send it with other folks as well. Hey everyone, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord here. I want to bring up a camera here. This is a chaser on that tornado. That tornado warned storm down near Table Rock area near Pawnee City as of right now. So this is maybe a tornado forming live on camera at the moment. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one for you. This would be right near the Table Rock area, just north of Pawnee City the way it appears. That see here. You can see the little appendage there just left of center of the screen. That may be a tornado trying to form right on camera. So I'm just going to leave this right here. I might go back and forth between this and the radar at the moment. It doesn't look all that great on radar. I think it's because it's far enough away from the beam, but that is a tornado forming, at least a funnel cloud anyway, near the Table Rock area. So if you're in Table Rock, Iowa, know anybody that lives between Pawnee City and Table Rock, they need to be in their safe place right now. This would be crossing what looks to be Highway 4, from best I can tell, between It's either northern Pawnee County or southern Johnson County right now. Kevin, who is this chaser that you have here? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. It's okay. This would be from our partners at Severe Studios. Hey, all right. Darren Brunin, okay. Yes, you can see the little appendage happening right there. It looks like a funnel cloud has formed, and we're just waiting for that to touch down here live on camera. I believe this would be the area down here near, it has to be between Table Rock and Pawnee City, if that is where the chaser is located from this storm. Of concern, this imminently would not be moving into the metro, but it would be heading, this storm producing this would be heading towards the metro. Again, quite a ways away from the radar. The hail core with this one, at least an inch diameter hail trying to form from this, but you have a nice clear base on this one, and you are getting a look at a tornado that is trying to form from our chasing partners, Severe Studios as of right now. So I'm going to leave this right here. Table Rock, you need to be in your basement, in your safe place, and away from any windows. This would be moving north into the Table Rock, Nebraska area. It looks like Pawnee City would be in the clear. You might be able to look north and actually see this right now in the Pawnee City area. Let me show you the map and where just some areas where we might be seeing this impact. So here is a look at the storm that is causing that. It'd be right in here, west of Humboldt. Take in a little closer, right near the Table Rock area. Crossing what is Highway 4, the way it looks right now. We'll go back to the video. There's the funnel cloud showing right now again. So again, you are seeing, I wish I had a way to put an indicator on this, but I do believe that is pretty easy to tell. You have a tornado on the a tornado trying to form with this one. If we could bring that up. Has anybody told the newsroom yet? Or in the, you got it? Okay, good. Dare, what's the one, Kevin? Who's the chaser? You got? Okay, you guys got it? All right. Live right now, a funnel cloud forming. It has to be near the Table Rock area. Table Rock, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm getting new people on the stream over and over now. That is a funnel cloud that is trying to turn into a tornado as we are watching. All right, so we are live. This is a live look at a storm that is down in Johnson. It's right on the Pawnee-Johnson County line. Southern Nebraska. That'd be just south of the county line. Highway 4, Table Rock area, and moving north. This is one of our chasing partners with Severe Studios with a funnel cloud. I believe, based on reports, this has touched down, dust on the ground, thin rope tornado from this one, from a chaser in that location as well. So it might have been doing a up and down scenario with this. Take a look at the wind, and it's got to be right in here, I would say, between Pawnee City and Table Rock, best I can tell. It could be this area of rotation right here. A little bit, again, you get this far away from the radar site, which is out in Valley, and sometimes you don't get a good indication of where the rotation is because the radar beam's so far up in the cloud. But the funnel appears to have dissipated, and that would line up with what we have in the radar signature right now. So that could be some good news for the Table Rock area as we're tracking this one. But if you know anybody in Table Rock, they need to be in their basement right now, in their safe place, and we will continue to track this one. Here's a look at the map. There's the area of rotation between Table Rock. Thank you for clearing this up. This is not in Council Bluffs. This is the Table Rock, Nebraska area where that funnel was, and that is the storm that was causing it. Rotation appears to have weakened, but these storms are likely to be cyclical. They're going to have what they need. They'll produce a tornado for a while. It may go away, and then they'll go right back to it as the rest of the evening goes along. Let's go up here to the north now. We'll keep an eye on that. There is no confirmed tornado at the moment with that Table Rock one, but what we do have is a couple more tornado warnings up here that have been issued, including the Norfolk area. Radar indicated tornado with this one, Battle Creek and Hayter. Radar indicated, again, western Madison County. If this rolls into the Norfolk area, I'll come back and touch base on this one. But as of right now, every other tornado warning, which could produce a tornado at any point, seems to be radar indicated based on the latest findings. So our storm chasers kind of sifting around trying to find where this storm is, or where that funnel might be, and it looks like he is trying to get repositioned to see if he can get a better view on it as of right now. But that, again, that's down in Pawnee County around Table Rock.
That tornado dissipated?
Yeah, it looks like the funnel cloud dissipated with that one, Gina. Mm-hmm. Go. All right, so that is what we are watching. I keep keeping an eye on the metro as well. Funnel cloud down to the south. We'll see if this thing is trying to spin back up and do that all over again. That tends to be what these do. So far, the rotation again near Table Rock. Looks like we may have lost the live stream as they reposition. Unfortunately, you get out in some of these areas and the cell coverage is not phenomenal either. And we can lose live pictures. Let's go back here. Got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like. That would be off to the north. North of Columbus. Let's pause the radar there and show you what we have happening with this one. In the mode of the radar that we are getting some very fast updates as of right now. Severe thunderstorm warning, some 2-inch diameter hail. I'm wondering if that was observed with that one north of Columbus as of right now. 1 second. All right. The storm that I'm showing you right now that has been warned north of Columbus has had some golf ball size hail with it as well as it's moving to the north. So that's the biggest threat out of that one as it heads in that direction. It looks like we got our chaser back on that Table Rock storm. Oops, sorry about that, folks. There we go. Live radar on that one. I got our chaser back on the Table Rock storm. There you go. And we are getting a live look at that one, and it does look like just a lot of rain right now, which is good. But it's still trying to rotate on radar, folks. So we're going to keep an eye on that one, and that's the biggest threat posed to the metro right now. It may try to right turn a little bit as it moves north towards us. So we'll see how that goes. If I loop it here and play, you can see how it does start to take a little bit of a turn to the right. So if you're watching in Nebraska City, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this one. If you're looking at these storms from the north, you're not going to be able to see anything. You're going to be looking through rain, hail, and there could be a tornado on the south side of any one of these, and that can be very difficult to find. I know everybody has the tendency to want to go outside and see the tornado. Some of these you might not be able to see as they approach. You're going to get the best view of these after they would pass over and you look to the north. So that's what makes this situation a bit more dangerous as well. But it looks like right now a lot of the focus continues to be with this cluster of storms back here. This may be a new tornado warning again. It's hard to tell in this, what we have going on. 5:15, this warning goes through. Radar indicated tornado there in Platte County. Radar indicated tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning with the potential there for some large hail. Let me get that out of the way so you can see here. That would include the cities of Creston, Humphrey, Lee, and Madison with that storm that is moving north. If you're from the area, likely have a good idea of what we're looking at here. Sorry, let me go back to the map. I apologize about that. I've given you a live look. Ewing, Nebraska, is there a confirmed tornado? I don't believe so. Everything is east of you. Let's see here. Let's see what we have going. It looks like a new tornado warning to talk about. Yep, okay, new tornado warning down here with that storm in the Table Rock area. Let me get you the latest on that one, folks. So they basically just included the tornado warning a little farther east the way it... I had a hail reports. I had some 4-inch tree limbs down in Pawnee City, and I have some golf ball size hail in Platte Center. You bet. There might be a rope tornado back on that screen, on that shot. So we have this tornado warning here for, let's give you the latest here. Observed tornado with this one on and off. Johnson, Nemaha, Pawnee, and Richardson County. The cities of Table Rock continuing to deal with this one. A lot of rural area, but I don't want to forget about you folks there that may be watching. This would be just to the east of Table Rock, I believe. There's a chaser video. They're trying to find this thing. There might be a rope on this one off to the east. All right, so basically, I'm waiting on them to rotate the camera on this one so you can get a little better view. It looks like they parked and the dash cam's not quite getting them what they need. They're out trying to find this thing as well. It looks like there's... Oh, come on, turn the car, turn the car. Confirmed tornado located over Table Rock as of 4:52, Gina. It looks like Table Rock area is dealing with this one. It's that verbiage is in the actual warning text as well. If you, all right, law enforcement reported tornado with that one, and it would be right in here between Table Rock and Humboldt. I'm going to say right here along what is Highway 4 and I believe Highway 105, just west of that interchange between Table Rock and Humboldt, to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. This is a tornado that is apparently on the ground right now. We lost the video feed. It is out of the Pawnee City area. It's over a lot of rural area right now, but there's a lot of farmsteads there. And it would be crossing Highway 4. It looked like our chasers might have been on Highway 4 based on where they were parked and looking. If you're watching in the Nebraska City, the Auburn, Nebraska area, this is a storm you're going to want to pay close attention to, because if the track goes to the northeast like it is holding, this could continue to be a tornado producer right now. Looks like we're bouncing around trying to get some of those feeds back. So once we have a view of that chaser again, we will bring that back to you. We're getting some... All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my bearings here, folks. So let's, okay, here we are, back with that chaser. Looks like he's back on the road. Not trying to, tough to see. I'm not sure if he's trying to get out of the way or what. All right, we lost the feed once again. Again, you're down in these rural areas. The cell signal can be very, very poor in some places depending on what carrier they have. And that's how they are broadcasting a lot of these images. So in and around the metro, not a big threat. I was thinking anytime after 4, these storms have popped up, and now we wait for them to move on through. There could easily be new storm development anywhere along this line right here. Notice how it's a broken line of storms. Everybody is saying, oh, we're not going to get storms. It never happens in Omaha. Here's the deal. It's a line of storms, and along it there'll be storms popping. No guarantee you will get a storm, but any storm that goes is going to have a lot to work with. And everyone will try to rotate. Everyone will try to produce hail. It's just not going to be a severe storm for everyone. And right along this broken line is where they're going. And they have been going strong north of Columbus. And as we go, here's what's going to happen. This storm turns into more, goes north. This storm turns into more, goes north. And then we just keep on rolling. Some of these will pick up steam, others won't. And we'll assess as we go. But right now, the biggest concern is this one down here near Pawnee City and Table Rock. Hail core with this one's been in and out, but now it's back, and you're getting some 2-inch diameter hail. Say you melt that down a little bit, that could be some 1.5 inch diameter hail. We're talking ping pong balls, golf balls.
Is that the Pawnee City area as well?
Yeah, nothing confirmed with that. That's my radar estimate there. But this is the storm that continues to rotate. And this one's kind of going essentially undeterred. This little cell right here could get in the way of it and stop the good inflow of moisture into this thing, which wouldn't be a bad deal. Slow it down a little bit, but this looks to be the one that's going to take over. And then we got to watch this one north of Lincoln right here, I do believe, as well. This one kind of getting a little bit of rotation on it too. All right. Waiting on the Severe Studios feed to come back. Hard to tell if that was damage or not. Well, I'll just let you watch as it goes. You might get a buffered feed here from time to time, but keep an eye on that as well. Again, that's Storm Chaser down near Table Rock. Looks like the power lines are upright, so that's good news. So we get a little wider view of the radar just to give everybody an indication of what we have happening. So far, the worst of the storms have been up here in the northwestern corner of our viewing area. So those are moving away from the metro. We're looking at storms trying to develop along this line right here. And then each one of these is going to go northeast. So if you're wondering when the storms move into the city, probably during the 5 o'clock hour if we're going to get one. Sometime during the 5 o'clock, maybe late into the 5 as well. But that would be the absolute earliest. Blair may be closer to 6 if you're watching on the stream here. A lot happening, and I fear it's only going to get busier, folks. So stick with us. All right. About to be live on the 5 o'clock newscast as well. So hang on here.
Got on the right shoulder. So far, disturbance 4955 Cumming Street, corner 7 Cumming, East Ashley, disturbance close fire. Texas girlfriend, Randy, 70 mile or 30s on his living.
They're looking to take you here at 5 right after that hit by Emily. So she should be tossing to you.
Clear. Clear, exactly. 70 on 40 fire, clear your 10. Flipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sure do, man.
And the 10, 10, 10, leave it. Oh, you ain't 31? Perfect, 102, 79. What's holding missing? 1, 2, 3, and B Street, 1701. Okay, 28. Clear, 74.
Gina, baseball size hail, Table Rock.
Okay.
That was a report. Train spotter.
What size baseball? Thank you. Checking on this one for you as well. Perfect. 1702. In Milwaukee, Channel 511. Fix that, okay. Reference property of exit 98 down 84th Street, right 8 down 84th Street. 8 down just west. Coming here is Miss Anderson, correct? Reference not applicable. Person in black shoulder. And traffic administrator. To this location, 25 minute call. Yeah, I have my little chickens. Okay, we'll put them all on. Come on, man.
Yeah, Emily, thank you very much. I tell you what, it looks like it could be quite a night here. That severe thunderstorm, or the tornado-warned storm that you were just showing in northern Saunders County, that is showing a very good sign of rotating as well. I'm going to go quickly to that, and you can see it's this appendage you see right here crossing the Platte River, and this is very, very concerning near the North Bend area. If we circle that, show you the wind, there's some really good rotation right there. And that is of concern. While you were talking, Emily, there was a report of baseball-sized hail in the Table Rock area from that monster storm down to the south. So there is a lot happening, and I cannot stress it enough. It is going to be a broken line of storms, but every single one that goes is going to have enough to work with. It'll rotate, and it could produce some monster hail as it moves on through. So take every single one of these, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, take it very seriously, because this storm down here near Table Rock has produced some baseball-sized hail. So I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and our app. If you want to carry that with you where you go, I'm going to be right there with you as well, taking you through several of these storms. It could be a very busy next 3 to 4 hours, and we're going to keep an eye on everything. We have chasers out all over the place, so you know what's happening when it happens and when it's moving through. In the meantime, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio, and hopefully everybody stays safe. What could be a rather impressive night. All right, folks, thanks for sticking with me here as we were live on TV and on Facebook and on all the different platforms. So let's go right through the one of greatest concern as of right now. This is a tornado-warned storm near the North Bend area. Now, it's still radar indicated rotation, but the National Weather Service, with their radar positioned where it is going to have quite a bead on this one, and may even be able to see something as they look west from their offices. So we're watching this here, 545 counties of Dodge and Saunders, the cities of Morse Bluff, North Bend, and Webster need to be watching this one incredibly closely. Has not produced a tornado yet, but it has the classic signature of trying to do so in a short amount of time. North Bend, you're going to get some hail very shortly, if not already, and you could easily be in that rotation right before you even realize it. So please, please take this one very, very seriously. Down to the Table Rock area, 501, there was a confirmed tornado 4 miles northeast of Table Rock as well. All of these, any storm that's been producing a tornado or been tornado warned has appeared to eventually produce a tornado, whether it's brief or whether it's been on the ground for quite a while. So, two storms that we are mostly concerned about at the moment would be the one here west of Fremont, and then this one back here near Pawnee City, Table Rock area as well. So, again, all the information is coming in fast and furious here. This is what we are watching as of right now. If you're in Auburn or the city of Johnson, you're not going to be able to see anything with this storm. What's likely going to happen is you're going to be looking through it, and the tornado is going to be down here. You're going to be looking through all this hail and all this rain, and you won't be able to see anything coming as it moves in your direction. So if you feel like you're in danger in the Auburn area at any time in the next half hour or so, you're going to make sure you're in your safe place as we progress through the next half hour to 45 minutes. We have this tornado, or this storm system, or storm cluster here that's trying to rotate like crazy around the North Bend area. We look at the hail product with this and likely trying to produce some hail running right up Highway 79 into the North Bend area. That could be some hail approaching 1 inch in diameter. Could be something that's actually melting a little bit as it falls, but not incredibly fast. Everybody's got a theory about everything on weather here, so fun times. Still not in the clear anywhere, folks. Brand new tornado warning now that we're watching. Like I said, fast and furious. Here we go. Capable of producing a tornado, Butler, Colfax, Dodge County right now. The cities of Bruno, approaching the Platte River in northern parts of Butler County. And this would be the part of the storm that we're most concerned about right in here as of right now. That's where the rotation would be. We go to the storm relative velocity wind, basically which way the wind is moving. Radar indicated. So these all need to be watched. They are in for quite an evening at the National Weather Service trying to monitor all these. Appreciate what they're doing there because there is a lot happening in a short amount of time here. Let me go off to the northwest. Stanton, Clarkson Could easily be a tornado in here west of Clarkson with this tornado-warned storm near the Lee area. Radar indicated through 545, Lee to Clarkson, north up Highway 57. If there's going to be rotation, it's likely right in here, the way it appears. Still keeping an eye on some of our live streaming chaser channels here. It does appear that a Table Rock one, trying to get in a better vantage point with this one. I haven't gotten any much new information with this one. Let me take you. Let's go into the North Bend area. This is the storm. Pause and show you how much lightning is being produced by this thing. This is pretty incredible. Lightning strikes in the last 10 minutes, 82 strikes. So this thing's producing a frequent amount of lightning around North Bend. Again, folks, I'm going to stay with you here as long as we have this threat rolling. Thank you very much for watching the live stream. Again, this one is west of Fremont that we are watching here. If there's going to be rotation, I don't know. There's so many storms out there. I'm not sure if we can have a chaser on every one. But we are getting some pretty significant rotation. Those are winds going away from the radar. The green is winds going towards the radar. And where we have those meet, you can get pretty broad areas of rotation or very tight areas of rotation in there. And this is what we are monitoring with this storm that has a potential to produce a tornado. Goes through 545. We could have some hail up near ping pong ball size hail with this one. If it's there, it's going to be right there in the North Bend area. Sometimes the hail detector lags a little bit, and we might be seeing that right now. But you look at the hail product, and there you go. That could melt down to some 1-inch hail. Morse Bluff up towards North Bend. You're going to be right under the gun for this one. All right. So that is a tornado warning that goes through 545 west of Fremont right now. Again, nothing in the metro yet. 4 was the earliest, and honestly, the threat's going to be there all the way through 6 o'clock as well. This is a chaser that was well off to the northwest. Let's switch up video feed here. This is off to the northwest in that cluster of storms that was, I believe, west of Norfolk. I don't know how they know what's going on up there. There's tornado-warned storms on 3 different sides of them right now, so this is very difficult to see exactly what we have happening. Here is the view of the storm chaser that we had down around Table Rock. They had a funnel cloud for a while. Apparently that was a confirmed tornado. We didn't have it right on the video feed the entire time. So right now that feed looks to have locked up a little bit. They are trying to track that storm that's down around the Table Rock area, and now probably approaching. You can see it's really taking a right turn. If I show you right here, loop this over the last hour, and watch how the nasty part of this storm right in here starts to pull east. That's it trying to latch onto all the instability that's flowing in from the south, and you get that. And that is how you get this thing to keep trying to produce a tornado. That is just all this moisture flowing right into that thing. And this is one that we need to watch closely for quite a while. We look at a little range folding there. You don't need to worry about what that does, but right in there is likely where we have that rotation northwest of Humboldt, if it's going to be there. So we got a storm chaser on that one. That is the view you're seeing right there. Again, it was probably off to the left of him if you're going to see this one. So hopefully if he gets something on within view, he'll show it to us. Richardson County line. All right, right now there are roughly 4, maybe 5 storms that they are tracking with tornado potential. I'm taking you through 2 of them that are in our viewing area. So the National Weather Service has a little larger area to monitor than just what we cover with our TV signal in Omaha. So they might talk about some things that are outside of our viewing area to be expected. They got a busy day ahead. Just doing a little tour of the radar here. We might be seeing that storm. Okay, there you go. That's the Table Rock one right there. They just turned and they got their dash cam on that. So I'm going to hang with you on that one right there. We might be getting some. That is a lowering trying to happen. Okay, so they just turned around. They're going to try to get back on the road and get in a better position. Let's see what we can get going here. They are following that one. Stick with us and you can view all these chasers. Whew. All right, let's see what we got rolling here. Down near Pawnee, or west of Pawnee City now. This would be north of Humboldt. And we lost the chaser feed again, so let me take you back here. Again, some of these are just out in the middle of farm country, and you are not getting very good cell signal to send back a video. Boy, all right, let me show you here. This is the one up around North Bend and Morse Bluff, west of Fremont, to give you a little indication. If you're in the Fremont area, you might be able to look west and see this one and not be in harm's way, to be honest with you. Anything you could drop into the stream here with this one, if you could stay safe, are very, very appreciated. Some 2-inch diameter hail with that storm down around the Humboldt area. But, so this is the debris detection mode of the radar here. If there's going to be anything, I'm very concerned that this may be it trying to form right here, just east of North Bend. Unfortunately, we do not have a chaser on this one. All right. So let me break down what we have happening here for our folks that are west of Fremont on Highway 30. Hey, if anybody could, everybody back here, all right. I'm going to try to bring up a baseball-sized hail happening now from a spotter probably 8 miles south of Johnson. All right. A couple of things here. I think we might have 2 tornadoes trying to form at the same time. Between Fremont and North Bend, this is the area of rotation right here, just crossed Highway 30. We look at the debris detection mode of the radar. If there's going to be anything, I think it's going to be right in there, just north of Highway 30, heading north. So it would be right in here, north of Highway 30 at the moment. Pretty good hail core with this one as well. And likely that we're trying to see something rotate and spin up right in there, essentially where that little donut hole is. That's just east of North Platte, or just east of North Bend, I should say. Let me try to bring up an NDOT camera here for you. There might be one in that area. Hey, Nathan, could you try to find an NDOT camera between North Bend and Fremont? There might be something trying to form north of the highway there. Yep. Let me know when you have it. Somewhere along Highway 30. That would be close. Okay, that's the closest one they have? Yeah. Okay, never mind then. Thank you, sir. All right, so we have that area trying to rotate between North Bend and Fremont. I'm concerned that that's trying to turn into a tornado. We give you the latest look at the wind. Wind's coming back towards you. I know they don't look all that impressive. That would be coming back towards the radar, going away. There's a little area of rotation right there. And also, that storm This storm back here near Auburn also continues to try to rotate as of right now. So the broad area of rotation with this one down here north of Humboldt, and let me flip you over to that storm chaser camera, and we may be seeing, at the very least, a little rear flank RFD. Let me flip over here and show you the mode of the radar. It shows you the wind. Again, it's kind of a mess right in here, but that's where the rotation is going to be, north of Humboldt, and that's what you are watching on this live stream right now. There, okay, we're going to go back to the radar here. Folks, I do believe we may be having a tornado that's really trying to form west of Fremont, too. I'm going to keep an eye on that chaser cam. Let me show you what we got going on here northwest of Fremont. Any eyes northwest of Fremont right now, you might be able to see a tornado trying to form. Looking for the latest, looking for the latest. All right, so this is a tornado warned storm for the cities of Morse Bluff, North Bend, and Webster. So they just amended this tornado warning here. Let me give you the latest with this one northwest of Fremont as of right now. Oops, sorry about that. Bouncing around here, 13 things going on at the same time, trying to keep an eye on this tornado and that tornado. West of Fremont right now looks to be the one. If you're looking northwest of Fremont, you actually could get a very, very clear view of this, and it's going to be right in there, just to the east of North Bend, northwest of Fremont, and it would be moving northwest. Or northeast, excuse me. Let's go to the mode of the radar that shows you possible debris. Not lining up perfect, but it could be this little guy right in here. So let's track this and put a bead on it. It is moving north-northeast at 25 miles per hour. Put some of the areas in the path of this one. 25. Now, let's ballpark it. Scribner State Park and the Scribner area by 6 o'clock. Not moving incredibly fast, but it moved to the northeast. I tell you what, I might even put a little bit of more of a northeast track on this one. Take this right here, northeast 25 miles per hour. Scribner State Park, you can get some rough timelines. All right, got a Dodge County tornado. Okay, this is the one I'm showing you right here. Emergency managers, local spotter reported, located on ground. County roads 10 and 11 in S&P. Where's he at?
South of Fremont.
South of Fremont? Okay, have him go.
Yeah, he's going. He's southeast of the warning area.
Okay, have him go north of Fremont, but no farther than Nickerson.
Okay.
And look west. Report of a tornado on the ground.
Okay.
That would be northeast of North Bend, north of Highway 30. Oh my word. All right, here we go. Another tornado warning with this one. So we do have confirmation of this tornado on the ground heading towards the Hooper and Scribner area on Highway 275. That would be this guy right in here, moving northeast in the middle of some of the rural areas of Dodge County. And then hot on its heels would be another storm back here near Prague that would be moving north right here along Highway 79. And this is a brand new tornado warning that goes through 6:15 with the possibility of some golf ball sized hail as well. So this is going north. This would head towards the North Bend and Prague area first, North Bend as well. Moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So this is when the messaging gets tough, folks, because there's back-to-back tornadoes trying to form in the same location. So North Bend with this new tornado warning would be under the gun here in about 20 minutes, 5:46, 6:06 in Webster, Scribner State Park by about 6:13 if it holds. Now again, I'm talking about two separate tornadoes here that are spinning. Two separate storms, I should say, that are spinning as of right now, looking off towards the northwest of the metro. Trying to look at reports as they're coming in. Thank you for the reports, everybody. The D actually stands for debris, folks. That's the debris signature on the radar. And there is likely going to be something trying its darndest to hold together here just west of County Road 14. In central Dodge County. Clear that off here. This guy right here. There's definitely something going on. There's Hooper. There's Nickerson. This is just to the northwest of Fremont. Moving northeast right now. Trying to keep track of this one. We have one trying to form a tornado down by Humboldt. And it looks like we have Brent Weber out chasing north of Fremont right now. Nathan, what TVU would Brent be on? Thank you, sir. All right. Anybody have a pen I can borrow for this? Thank you very much. All right. Sorry, folks. Trying to keep this all organized here. TVU 2. All right. So we have our own Brent Weber out on this storm, trying to get a better view of what we have happening with this one here to the west of Nickerson. I do believe he's trying to get through Fremont and go north on Highway 275. There could be some pretty gnarly wind with this one too. We look at some wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour trying to head back to the radar. So now it looks like there's about 3 storms we need to pay attention to closely here, perhaps 4. Oh, okay, they just extended the tornado warning for this one. Let's take a look at this. This is going to be for that storm that I just mentioned to the west of Highway 77. Our own Brent Weber heading up there as well. Let me see. I'll go TVU2, bring this up here. Okay, there's a live look at our Brent Weber going through town. So when he has something a little more visual, we're going to go back to it. But it is on this storm you see right there that is moving through central Dodge County, west of Highway 77. So anybody between Scribner and Hooper, you are not going to be able to see this storm because of all the rain that's coming in, especially in the Scribner area. You're going to be shielded by rain looking south at this storm. You will not be able to see much of anything. But Hooper, you might get a good view on it. Don't go out try to see the tornado. I would say right now, with this being on the ground on and off, get in your safe place. Scribner and Hooper especially. Anywhere between there on Highway 275, you're going to want to get in your safe place so you're out of the way of this one as it moves on through. This is a observed tornado with some 1.5-inch diameter hail as well. that it would impact Hooper, Scribner, perhaps Ewing and Winslow if it holds on and it goes to the northeast. So it's right in here that we're watching. That could end up being it right here in this debris ball signature trying to show up on the radar as of right now. So that is moving off to the northeast. It looks like the rotation may have picked right back up on this latest scan here, folks. Hooper and Scribner, you need to be in your safe place right now. Just remove all doubt and get where you need to be. Yeah, make sure you tell Brent no farther north than Nickerson. I don't need him getting in the way. Okay. Here, I think Brent's texting me. I got it. This tornado would be west and or southwest of Highway 275 in Dodge County, between Scribner and Hooper potentially.
And that's a warning, that's not a confirmed?
That is a warning with an observed tornado. All right, well, northwest Ames. Might have another one here that is forming with this one back here near Clarkson, north of Clarkson and Stanton as well. That is a confirmed tornado 3 miles southwest of Clarkson as of about 5:30. Would be with this cell that's trying to go. Again, this is what I was afraid of, more than you can keep up with as of right now. So there's likely some rotation right in here, north of Clarkson, between Clarkson and Stanton, moving northeast in Stanton County. There is a tornado warning for Dodge County with this cell back here. That would be threatening Hooper and any areas around it on 275. If you are anywhere near Hooper on Highway 275, you need to be in your safe place as of right now. That is a confirmed, could be a large tornado right now near the Hooper area. If you could take the lightning off, Emily, that would be great there too as well. Just go to the live radar. Right in here is what we're watching. There's 275. There's Hooper. There's Scribner. You're not going to be able to see this one through the rainfall in Scribner. It's going to be right in here. Winslow, Hooper up towards Ewing. And this is possibly a large confirmed tornado. Go to the debris section of this one as well, and we'll see how this looks. There could be signs of debris right in here if we're watching that, just to the southwest of Hooper as of right now. So right along Highway 275, if you are anywhere in between Hooper and the Scribner area, even over towards Nickerson, this could start to turn a little right and head towards your area. You need to be in your safe place. Lowest level of your house. This one moving to the east, or to the northeast, with this warning here that I believe, Emily, if you click on that, I do think that goes through about 6 o'clock, if I remember right. So
yeah, 6:15.
6:15. So possibility as well right in here of some golf ball sized hail too as it approaches. And I know our Brent Weber is traveling north near Nickerson, trying to get a better view of this. I told him not to go any farther north of Nickerson, just in case, because this is about ready to cross Highway 275 right now between Hooper and Scribner as well. So we've had this storm. We've had this one back here near Clarkson as well. All right, I understand we have, let's look at this picture here from Brent Weber looking north in the area of, you can see no clear sign of any lowering there, but we're starting, really tough to see much of anything. Get a little rain wrapped. This might be a difficult one to see here as it wraps up a little bit more. So let me send it over to Emily now. Probably better do a deeper dive on this one, Emily, and keep an eye on this one. I think you do that. I'll focus on the one down to the south and see if there's any new info on that one.
Yeah, this is certainly one to watch very closely. That storm out in Dodge County, again, an observed tornado on the ground. We still have very clear signs of rotation within this storm. And Scribner included in that warning, Hooper as well, Winslow also within that tornado warning. So if you are not in your safe place yet, you do want to seek shelter as the storm continues to move through. Nothing new coming in on this storm just yet from the National Weather Service. But again, we did have confirmation that this was on the ground, and we were seeing some clear signs of rotation on radar. So that's going to be a continued threat here through 6:15 at least, as the storm continues to track out to the northeast. So let's see if we can spot anything on the debris signature. It's still very unclear, but as we pull up that base wind speed, you can see a really bright spot on there of rotation. So this is going to be a huge concern for us as that continues to travel out to the northeast. So Hooper in the path of this storm, Scribner also in the path of this storm, and out along the Highway 275 corridor. This is your heads up out along there and points to the northeast. You should be seeking shelter as the storm makes its approach. Right now, still down to the southwest where we're seeing the clearest rotation with this storm, but that's headed your way, bringing in the threat for not only an observed tornado, but also a hail threat. Almost 2-inch hail possible with this thunderstorm. Hooper, Scribner, Ewing, Winslow, all in the path of this storm as it continues to progress out to the northeast here. And Rusty, do you have some new information?
Sorry, yeah, didn't want to interrupt you there, but for viewers in Dodge County, County Road 13 and R reported multiple power lines down. That would indicate that there is at least has been something on the ground with this storm moving through in northeastern parts of what is now northeastern parts of Dodge County.
Yeah, let's see if there's any information showing up on our reports list here. So I'll zoom out a little bit on this, recenter just a touch, and see if we can spot anything on the reports list that would give us a better location on that. So you can see where we do have multiple reports of that tornado-warned storm continuing to travel out to the northeast from North Bend. So let's zoom in on that here now that the radar has picked up on that and kind of look and see what's going on. This is where we have a report of a tornado out near Ames. This was just at 5:24, so very recently, within the last 20 minutes, a report of a tornado on the ground. This continuing to travel to the northeast. That's that same, you can see one report here near North Bend that continues to travel northeast. That's that same storm that continues to perhaps produce a tornado that's either staying on the ground or lifting back up and lowering again to the ground. And here we go. We have another one further to the northeast, and this is very recent. I think this is the one that you were talking about, where we have those tornado debris still on the radar, the signature there. That's likely where we were picking up on some of those damage reports as well. So that continuing to travel northeast, very clear picture on the radar of where we are still dealing with some signs of rotation. This, again, not as clear of a hook signature as what we were looking at a little bit earlier on. But as we recenter this and pull up that base wind speed, we still have incredibly clear signs of rotation. So although we're no longer seeing a hook, we still have very clear signs that this is a strong storm, again, getting ready to cross right over the highway there. And that's going to bring in a threat for potential tornado toward Hooper, Scribner, and up into the Winslow area as well. Right now, it looks like the rotation is strongest right around that County Road 13 to 14 section, intersecting with County Road J. Rusty?
Thank you very much there, Emily. Yeah, I tell you what, this is a different mode of the radar showing debris. This might be it right in here between Scribner and Hooper, and it's very easily could be causing some very extensive damage somewhere between Scribner and the Winslow area. Hooper is going to be right in there as well. So let's see if we can, well, apparently not still working again. You might have to steer for me here a little bit.
I do. I'll get over to your radar in just a second, but I want to pass along this note from the National Weather Service. They're expecting that to pass, as you were saying, right in between Hooper and Scribner, and that's where they're expecting that storm to stay. So let's go back to Rusty at the wall, and I'll go ahead and steer his radar as he continues to talk about that.
Yeah, let's go to the storm relative wind if you could there, Emily. Just click on, shows the wind speed right in between, because I think it might be starting to cycle a little bit here. There you go, right in here, Scribner, Hooper, that would be the rotation, that would be the tornado right there, moving off to the northeast as of right now.
Yeah, this is much clearer than it was just at the last radar pass.
If you sample some of these winds here with the Q, there could be some very strong rear flank downdraft winds with that as well. There could possibly be some 60, 70 mile per hour winds that aren't even associated with a tornado right in here, just to the northwest of Hooper. So it's going to cross Highway 275 between Scribner and Hooper. I don't know if Brent Weber can hear me right now. You could probably go to the junction. If anybody could tell Brent, make sure he doesn't go any farther than the junction of 275 and 77. Put him right about here if you could. Then he could look back to the northwest and possibly see this. That should go between Hooper and Scribner if it's going to be there. And there's obviously many reports of some damage back here, some power lines down as it crossed County Road 13 and County Road 14
Yeah, you can see some of the wind signatures on there, up to 65 miles per hour. That's about the strong, almost 70 now. That's about the strongest that I've seen.
So when you're looking at this mode of the radar, I know it looks like a garbled up mess. Green is back towards the radar, red is away. You get these really close together and you can get these areas of rotation. Best way to think about it, putting a pencil in your hand, moving your hand both opposite directions. What does that pencil do? It rotates, and that's what we're seeing right in here. And we're starting to see those contrasting colors get brighter and brighter and brighter. So this could end up being a fairly large tornado at some point, crossing between Scribner and Hooper. Even if there's not a tornado in here from time to time, there's going to be some very, very strong wind likely on either side of it, and it could be some large hail. If you could, Emily, head to the debris section of this as well. I want to see if the CC, there you go. That's got to be it right there, don't you think, Emily?
Yeah, that's much clearer than it was before. I would say almost certainly.
What does it look like on radar, just to be sure? I want to make sure we're not being tricked right there. There's got to be something.
Yeah, there is. That's
definitely it right there between Hooper and Scribner, moving to the northeast. So, yeah, we're going to see this. Winslow, I believe, is right here, up towards Ewing as well. Yeah, this is the tornado, and wow, another one back there to the southwest, Emily, that just popped up. Let's send it back over to Emily. She can if she's ready, only if she's ready.
I can go ahead and talk about that new warning down to the southwest. Let's take a look at this one here. I'll recenter this, and there's this new storm just coming in from the southwest. This is developing just out to, it looks like the east of North Bend, out along the Highway 3 corridor there. This section of the storm here, as it travels out to the northeast, seeing some signs of rotation with that. New tornado warning with that. That's going to be running until 6:15. This is moving through Dodge County. Large hail, a potential with this thunderstorm as well, as it continues to track out to the northeast. Let's see if we can get a speed on that. Looks like it's moving at about 30 miles per hour. So this is the second tornadic storm following the initial one. So we've been talking about the one that's an observed tornado, and now we're talking about a new tornado warning developing just down to the southwest right now, impacting portions of the Highway 30 corridor. At this point, looks like it's going to be mainly moving through rural sections of Dodge County as it continues to travel out to the northeast. So if you're in Fremont wondering what's going on with these storms right now, it looks like those are going to be a miss for you. They're traveling out to the northeast, and as we take that wider view, going to our larger section here, you can see we've really seen a split in that line of thunderstorms. We have this northern section here consistently producing quite a bit of rotation. We have a southern section as well, also seeing rotation. We have several tornado warnings in place, but a bit of a break right around the metro. And this is where we would be looking for that potential development that would move through the metro later on tonight. And right now, we're just not seeing much. So I think what's going to happen here as we move through the evening is we're going to be watching kind of this southern development from the northern portion of this line of thunderstorms, maybe get a little bit of a clip from that out across portions of Douglas County as we move deeper into the night. But for now, that main concern, it's really right here where we have those observed tornadoes consistently with this northern section of that line of thunderstorms. A lot of rotation with all of these thunderstorms. I'm not sure if Rusty's over at the wall, or Rusty, are you ready with something?
Yeah, hey guys, if you can put me on over on camera 9. Let's go over here for just a bit. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what we have going on here. I want to make sure to give Emily a break, and I want to dive into some things here. So let's look at the wind speed. You have storm number 1 right here that's near the Scribner area. You got storm number 2 that's back here between Fremont and North Bend. That is moving, both are moving northeast. So you're in the clear with storm number 1 south of Highway 275, but you have another one that is rotating as well, plus the potential to produce some more hail down here with this one near half-inch diameter hail, so not a huge threat. But as you're out assessing the damage, possibly between Scribner and Hooper, you might have another storm right behind you. So let me take a look at what we have. This is it right here, folks. It doesn't get any clearer than that. That is the debris signature between Hooper and Scribner. There is a tornado right there, and we are watching it form in real time as of right now. So there's been damage reports. All right, we have a picture from, who did you say? Brent, let's take a quick look at that. Highway 275 and 75. Okay, you can maybe see the lowering right there as well. Does that look like a little funnel there, Emily? Have you able to
It's
look
really hard to tell if it's a funnel, but it's clearly lowering at the very least.
I'm trying to keep Brent out of harm's way, but get a close enough view of this thing. Okay, Brent, if you're there, you can go a little farther north on Highway 77, but it might be tough to see. This is a very, very well-defined tornado, but it might be starting to get rain-wrapped here between Hooper and Scribner at the moment. So let's take a little wider view here.
Okay, guys, is it in the center of that heavy, stormy area?
It very well could be, Brent.
Not to the south section.
Just so you know, you're live on camera right now, too, as well. Or live on TV.
Right.
So west of Highway 77.
Right. You're not seeing my beautiful face, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't go any farther north than Yuling. I'll tell you that right now. That might even be a bit of a stretch. I would stay...
Yeah, we were just...
Yeah, where are you at located right now?
We're north of the 275 overpass, maybe a quarter of a mile. We can see, I don't think I can spin this, but to the southern part of this section, there's some lower clouds, and I'm not a meteorologist, but understanding that I see some dropping down to the southern section of this. I can see heavy rain in the shot that you're looking at to the right. I can see that heavy rain there, and we've seen some lightning here in a few seconds, but I can't tell. There you just saw the gentleman whose field we're next to waving. He's working, trying to get back. But I'm seeing lightning, heavy lightning in the center of that, but from where I'm at, it looks like maybe even further to the south, there's some of those dropping areas too. So,
well, here's the deal.
We can sit here. We can move a little north. It's up to you.
Go north on 77, but do so slowly, and watch to your west. If it's there, it's going to be to your west. If you get into the rain, stop. Don't go any farther.
Okay.
And once it starts raining, it might be in there somewhere, but just be very, very careful. If you think you're in danger, just stop and say, I need to go back south. Don't hesitate to do that.
And they have issued a new warning on this thunderstorm.
Go ahead, Brent.
Sorry, guys. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and if you, on your end, as you're looking at it, if you can see this southern section, keep an eye on that, because now I'm seeing, you know, it's looking darker along those edges here. So maybe the southern section of this stretch might be nastier than at first glance.
Okay.
But we'll head.
Okay.
Sorry, we'll head up north and we'll keep you posted. All right.
Brent, make sure you have a way to go east if you need to. Make sure you have a way to go east whenever you stop. That's a word of advice too.
10-4.
All right, go ahead, Emily.
10-4.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, they have issued a new warning on this thunderstorm, and they've really pulled that pretty far out to the northeast because of the speed of this storm, and I suspect also because it's holding together so well. Also, this is now, again, an observed tornado on the ground, and that warning continues as it travels out to the northeast. So taking a look at that query tool, they've extended that until 7 o'clock tonight. So that warning is now in place until 7 p.m. This is going to impact Burt, Cumming, and Dodge counties. It's going to be headed toward Lyons, Oakland, Scribner, Yuling, all in the path of this thunderstorm. So let's zoom in here and again talk about where we're seeing the rotation right now. Yuling, you are very close to this storm. This is headed your way soon. Oakland going to be in the path next as that continues to travel to the northeast. Taking a look at that base wind speed there, this is what Rusty was talking about so clearly when we were talking about that threat for some rotation and tornado development. This is, again, it's a developed tornado on the ground. We're still seeing those very clear bright signs of rotation. This has now crossed over the highway, so it has passed between Scribner and Hooper already, continuing out to the northeast, and this is where we see that continued concern to move into Yuling, eventually Oakland, more populated areas as this storm progresses to the northeast. And this has held together incredibly well. We have several reports of a tornado out along really just that entire line that it's traveled across.
Hold on, sorry, Emily.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
There has been a report of a home that took a direct hit from this one. If anybody in the newsroom can come in to the studio and get a look at this, the address, just in case. But yeah, this is likely a large tornado on the ground. Take it seriously. Maybe do a couple of tracks, Emily, to show people where this is heading. About 30 miles per hour. About
30, 35 miles per hour. And the good news is, for those wondering, those that took a direct hit to that home, there was 4 parties inside, and they're all okay.
Yeah, very good point there.
If you're wondering, everyone's fine with that home that took a hit. But here it is, again, that storm. Looks like they have updated it, took away the observed wording for some reason. So maybe they lost sight of it. Again, we did have that potential for it to become rain-wrapped and lose sight of exactly what's going on within this storm. But we are still seeing incredibly clear signs of rotation here. So it's still a very serious situation. Again, a home that took a direct hit from this. Thankfully, everyone okay, but still some very bright spots right here. The strongest rotation now is sitting just out to the northeast of Scribner and just to the north of County Road F. That continues to travel out to the northeast, bringing that severe weather threat for not only a tornado that has been observed on the ground, has produced some considerable damage, but also the threat for some large hail with this. And as we take a look at that hail tracker here, this is usually about 5 minutes behind, but an incredibly bright spot right on the map, and that's showing the potential for some very large hail, about 1.5 inch hail possible. That's what's being seen on radar as the potential here as the storm continues to track out to the northeast. Rusty, I see you looking at things a little bit more closely there. Anything new?
Yeah, I tell you what, I told Brent Weber to just stop. Indications are, based on some reports, that there's multiple vortices in this spinning around, and it might be wrapped in rain, and you're not going to be able to see anything. So if you're in Ewing right now, get to your basement. I cannot stress this enough. There's been damage back here. This is the storm. This is it right in here, and it would be heading for Ewing and Oakland. Anybody, if you have a postal address of Ewing or Oakland, you need to be in your safe place right now. This has been producing damage. This is causing some big problems, and that is it right there. That is the tornado. It's going to wobble. It's going to go back and forth. It may kind of swirl along. There's likely multiple tornadoes in there based on some reports, but that's the one. So with that, there's some hail with it too, like Emily's been showing. Possibility some 1 inch diameter hail. You look at the wind, and that right there is some very, very strong return flow and flow away from that storm. So what we're watching here is likely a storm that could be cycling a little bit too. That may be a new area of rotation right here as this one's dying off, and then we're going to see this go towards Ewing and Oakland. So if you are in either one of those towns, head to your safe place, because I fear this one is going to be tough to see. Our own Brent Weber has been going north on Highway 77, and every time he looks to the west, all he sees is rain.
Rusty, I'm going to interrupt you really quickly here with an update. You were talking about the potential for multiple vortices, and that's what's being reported. So we do have a report in from the National Weather Service, multiple vortex tornado with rain wrapping curtains. So that means this is not only very dangerous because it's hard to see on the ground, but there's multiple locations where we're seeing rotation, where we're seeing tornadoes, potentially all at once. So with this storm, if you are within that warning, anywhere within that warning, get to your safe place now. A very dangerous storm. They use that wording that this is likely a very large, strong tornado.
Wow. Have you take a look at this, Emily. This is incredible. There's 3 potentially. Lining up, one right after the other here. You have this warning here, just north of Wahoo, that's trying to rotate. There's still something here northwest of Fremont, and then you got this guy that's definitely on the ground up here heading towards Ewing. So this one moves through, you have another one right behind it, and another one right behind it. Best to just stay in your safe place there in eastern Dodge County for the next half hour, 45 minutes. These are all zipping to the north right now, and I don't want people to come out of their safe place thinking all is clear and have another one right behind it. This is pretty incredible. Fremont, you're okay for now. The west edge of Fremont is in a tornado warning as we look a little closer here. But the rotation is back here. This is radar indicated, could have some 1.5 inch diameter hail. Dodge, Saunders, and Washington County included with this one. But it's that flashing red box you see here. West edge of Fremont, included in that, not the east edge. And a little wider view here shows you nothing in the metro to worry about at the moment. You got this cell down here that's still going. Some rotation, but no confirmed tornado with this one at the moment. And then back up here, you have this cluster of storms and this one. So I mentioned this earlier. It's a broken line of storms. Not everyone is going to be producing, or not everyone is going to get a storm, but they are going if you get one, and they are going in a big, big way. Any new reports over there, Emily?
No new reports. They are issuing several damage reports.
Okay.
Those are kind of coming in a little bit belated. Just a new update coming in. They're starting to get the debris field fanning out aloft. That typically signals a large amount of debris being lofted by this tornado.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you right in here. That is it. That is classic. That is textbook. There is a tornado there, no doubt whatsoever, right here.
They're expecting that, the National Weather Service, for it to stay west of Yulee. That's what they said in their latest update. But there's so much going on behind that if you're in Yulee, you stay in your safe place. There's more coming your way.
You're talking 5 miles maybe. Don't mess around.
Yeah.
Just get in your safe place, like Emily said. It's not worth it. Yulee, you need to be in your safe place. There is a large confirmed tornado, likely wrapped in rain, and you're not going to be able to see anything. I bet that's got to be it right there. That is it. Moving to the northeast. There's Yulee. Is that a highway? No, that's a county line right there. Okay, so we take a look at that. It's right in there. All kinds of violent rotation, likely rain wrapped. Again, to give you perspective of where we're at, this is north of Highway 75. There's Fremont. The metro's down here. This is right up 275, and this is a big one on the ground, approaching the Yulee area. And I'm looking at that debris signature, trying to find, there's likely, this could be it right here. You see these fainter colors? That could be what would be the debris getting picked up by the tornado and then fanning to the northwest with the wind is likely what we're seeing right there. So there is likely stuff being impacted by that tornado as it spins up. Let me play this here. Maybe we can see that little blue ball form. So there it is. Watch the last couple of frames here. It wobbles on you a little bit. So it looks like it'll pass just west of Yulee, but that's cutting it close. I wouldn't even sweat it. Go to your basement, get in your safe place.
Okay, I'm going to have our producers in the booth get in contact now with our chaser, Brandon. He is on the storm in Yulee, and he has a picture of that now. So let's work to get that on the air, and let's call him and do a phoner. Yeah. Can you guys work on that?
I'd much rather have him there than our Brent Weber. Just so.
Yeah, he already is there. I have the picture. I can see it. Not necessarily the tornado, but I can see the rain coming down. I can see the side of that storm. Okay, sounds good.
There you go. All right, so that's it. Just to the west of Yulee. It looks like it's gonna stay just to the west of Highway 77. Then we got to start talking about some other towns here, folks. Oakland, Nebraska, not Iowa. Oakland, Nebraska. Let's get you in a little closer here. Get a zoom of what's going on. We'll recenter down here. So there we go. Oakland to Yulee. That stretch of Highway 77. If you know anybody along that or west of it, there is likely a very large tornado on the ground that is going to stay there for a considerable amount of time, the way it's going right now. There's nothing to indicate that this is going to weaken. Go ahead, Emily.
All right, we have his picture up, and he's driving, I think, to get a better view. So right now, this is not necessarily the view of the storm, but he's been going back and forth. I think, certainly trying to stay out of the path of this storm and also keep an eye on it. But if we keep a close eye on this live stream here, we are eventually going to see this storm that we're talking about here, and it is a huge thunderstorm. The sides of that are very smooth, and that's showing that the entire thing is just rotating very strongly. There's very strong signs of rotation that you can clearly see just by looking at it. There we can see the edge of the storm. He's driving right now, so he's trying to get into a better position to view that.
Do you have the latest speed on that one, Emily?
Let's see. I'll pull that up. National Weather Service. They've issued several new warnings since then, so scrolling back. 30 miles per hour, I believe, is the speed on that.
Ballpark then 625 for Oakland. Where are we at now time-wise? So 15 minutes? Yeah, about 15 minutes to get your safe place in Oakland. I would not hesitate right now. If you know anybody in Oakland, know anybody in Yulee, this is it right there. There's Yulee. We're talking a matter of miles from brushing Yulee. And there's Highway 77 north of Fremont, and we're watching this.
Let's pull up that picture now, if we can.
Yeah, go ahead.
There it is. That you can see the rain coming down.
It's in there somewhere.
So it's very hard to see visually what's going on within that storm. This is what we're talking about when we say it's rain wrapped. You can't see into the storm. because there's just such heavy rain falling. That reduces the ability to see the tornado that's very clearly on the ground. We can tell that from the rotation indicated on radar, that debris detection that we've been talking about. But as far as being able to actually see it, this makes it very difficult, and it makes the whole situation even more dangerous than it already is when you can't visually look at the storm and see what's happening. But you can see, if you could look at the side of that storm off on the far right-hand side, just how smooth that is. That's showing some very clear signs that really the entire storm has quite a bit of rotation with it, not just spots within it.
While you were doing that, Emily, there was reports of a tornado that went through the Stanton and Pilger area here within the last half hour as well. And there are damage reports coming in around Pilger. If you remember that, I think it was 2016. Yeah, twin tornadoes. It looks like that rotation might be gone right now, but what we're watching here, it would have been damage somewhere between here, Stanton and Pilger, likely too, but it looks like this one is the one controlling the situation down here right now, and no signs of this thing weakening at all. Absolutely incredible rotation with this one. As we zoom in a little closer, again, we can't forget to keep an eye on other areas, but that's it right there. That's classic. You have rain, you have the wind going back towards the radar there, wind going away from the radar there, and then you're getting that spin right there just to the west of Ewing, and that is likely a very, very large tornado, without a doubt. Is that video still up? That's incredible. Let's go back to that if we can.
There it is. Yeah, you can see a little bit better now, at this angle at least, a little bit less rain.
So if you're listening in the newsroom, there's likely some damage coming in around the Pilger area, and likely going to be up around Ewing and the Hooper area too. I know our Brent Weber's up there, but let's just keep that video going there as long as we can, because this is rather impressive and dangerous as well. So we still have warnings. Yeah, so that's the rotating part of the supercell with multiple vortices in there. And that's why we say when it's rain wrapped, you're not going to be able to see hardly anything. And that's what makes it even more dangerous. That is why I told Brent Weber to stop. I don't want him, he's not a trained meteorologist. I don't need him getting in some situation that puts him and our photographer in danger.
Now, Rusty, if you turn around and look at the picture here, look at the angle that we have. This is a little bit better to see what's going on underneath the storm. Just getting outside of that rain-wrapped area a little bit more, you can see it's certainly lowering, definitely rotating. We have a little projection out at the bottom as well.
Yeah, that's definitely the inflow going in there. It looks like he's traveling north. Hopefully he doesn't go too far. He's probably trying to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, yeah, because it looks like he's looking back behind him, right? Does that look?
It does look like he's looking behind him. So
that would be it. Ewing and Oakland, say it over and over. Those are the places. You need to be in your basement, and I'll tell you when it's safe to come out. Hooper, Scribner, it does look like you're in the clear right now. With at least that tornado, the one back to the southwest, we can't forget to.
And we have a couple of new reports coming in. The Windside Fire Department reporting rotation close to the ground, 2 miles west of Windside. We also have reports in Stanton that just a little bit north of Stanton, 3-car garage damaged, the roof and the trees, 100-gallon diesel fuel tanked up over at a farm. So a lot of damage being reported with all of these rotating storms, with these tornadoes that we're tracking out here. And they have continued that tornado warning as well. So the update there coming in, that's going to be running until 7 o'clock, and it's slowed down. So now this is moving at 25 miles per hour. I tell you, you don't see that, they put a threat tag on these when they know what they have. Considerable damage is the word that they used. So right now, farmsteads, open country, but this thing, if it's getting close to Ewing and it's getting very close to Scribner, or excuse me, Oakland as of right now. So those are the two areas. That is a large, large debris field with that thing. And what you're seeing here off to the west is all the stuff that the tornadoes picked up.
Yeah, let's just keep that there. It's got to be looking west, right? Back at that gravel road.
Yeah, I let him know to call in if he can. Obviously, he's very busy, but if he can, and he can probably talk a little bit more about his perspective on this if we're able to get him on the phone.
Okay.
Oh, another home damaged in Dodge County. This was from the first tornado. All parties are okay.
Okay, good to hear. Okay, there might be another one. Okay, oh, wow, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, so it's becoming a little clear. It's getting out from the rain.
Are we able to pull that up on the green screen so we can point at it? Is that possible?
Okay, yeah. Here, come back to...
That looks like a pretty clear wedge.
Yeah, come back to Rusty, and then, yeah, see if you can get that up there. Emily, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll let you stand in front of the green screen and describe what we have going on here. This is a very, very large tornado. That's it. And what we're seeing here, there's the debris field. There is all the stuff that is floating up into the air as it goes over some of those houses, and that is being picked up by radar as of right now. And we're seeing this in close to Ewing right here. So there's Ewing. It looks like it's going to miss Ewing just to the west, but now we're talking Oakland, Nebraska. And that is the area within 5 minutes, I'd say. Oakland, you need to be in your basement. This is no joke. If you know anybody in Oakland, give them a call. You might very well save their life. All right, so get a little wider view here. And we look back to the northwest. There is another storm that is trying to rotate as of right now.
Hello.
Back
Hey,
here.
I have Brandon. I have our chaser on the phone. I'm doing speakerphone. We're having trouble with our phoner system. Let's pull up your picture again.
Yeah, go for it. Let's talk about that.
Can you
one and
talk
get
about
people
what
out
you're
of the way.
seeing out there? This is just terrifying video for anyone who lives in this area.
Yeah, so right now there is a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground just northwest of Ewing, if I pronounce that right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got that
Headed
right.
toward Essen or Essen, however you pronounce that. It is making a more of a right turn. It was going north, but it has taken a eastward shift.
Ooh, that's
and
nice.
it is heading right for US 77.
Okay. And this has been coming in and out of view. Looks like now we're getting a little bit more rain in front of it, but we were seeing a very clear, defined wedge tornado. Is that what you were seeing on the ground as well?
Yes, there was a very large wedge tornado. For a period of time, I did not have a visual on it due to the precip, but then I did end up attaining visual. I was able to really tell when it was wrapped in rain because of the roar. There was a very well-defined roar that you hear with strong tornadoes. This is not one to take lightly.
No. And this is held together really well. And we've seen so far 2 reports of homes taking hits with this. Let's go back to Rusty's video while we have you on the phone, or I should say Rusty's monitor while we have you on the phone. He had a picture of the rotation, so we can kind of show you exactly where it is on the map.
Okay, so perspective. Here's Fremont down here. You're going north on 77. There's where it is. There's Ewing. Hopefully it misses Ewing just to the north, but like Brandon said, it's going to be close. This is the rotation right here, and we're starting to get some really strong wind away. That might be the radar being tricked because the wind is so strong. This thing is spinning like a top, and it's going to head north up here towards Oakland, the junction of Highway 32 and 77, and that is the town of Oakland, Nebraska. If you've been up there, you know that pretty good sized town for that part of the country. So there is a definite threat. Please, if you know anybody in Oakland, give them a call, because this is very, very life-threatening.
We're still seeing the debris signature as well. I have that pulled up here.
Go for
and
it.
this is just out to, it looks like the northwest of Ewing, where we have the debris signature. This is that tornado that we are looking at, that Brandon has that view of as it continues to travel out to the northeast. And there's Oakland right there. So in the path of that storm, I'll recenter this so you can see where it's headed. Traveling looks like very close to, probably parallel with Highway 77 as that continues to make its way out to the northeast. Let's go back to Brandon's video, see what that's looking like right now. How are things going out there? Looks like you're on the move.
Yeah, I'm trying to move north. The tornado's moving more east.
Okay.
Right now, I'm going to try and get back east to State Route 77. My chase partner's over there with law enforcement, fire, trying to keep them out of the path. We're currently just proceeding north, trying to stage in case there's any significant damage. But watching it closely, it has quickly become wrapped in rain once again. So if you are in the path of this tornado, if you are in the path of this tornado, it is heavily wrapped in rain. You will not see it when it's coming to you. It will look like a rain shower. This thing is a violent tornado. If you are under a tornado warning, take shelter immediately.
Yeah, good advice.
Thank you very much for that, Brandon. And experienced storm chaser there, can't reiterate that enough. Everybody loves to go see the tornado. Don't. You're
Emily,
not,
I'm going to hop off.
not going to be able to.
Get in contact with my team so we can
Yeah.
keep these persons
Sounds good. Thank you so much,
let
and
him-
we'll reach back out later on as it continues to approach Yuling.
While you were watching that one, it does look like there may be another tornado down here between Auburn and Rockport, Missouri, right in here. And earlier in the last scan, there was some decent debris being shown right here east of Auburn, and that would be heading to the cross I-29 between Hamburg and Rockport right now. You look at the winds, it doesn't look all that good, but it's a long ways away from the radar, so it might be a little tough to see, and there would be some wind blowing around, maybe some golf ball to tennis ball size hail with this one. I should say golf ball to ping pong ball size hail. So again, tornado warned storm here. You get the latest warning with this, and it does include a radar indicated warning through 7 o'clock for Atchison County in Missouri, radar indicated through 6:30 for Nemaha County, Auburn, Brownville, and Peru. You know the bridge to cross there, Brownville. If you've been down around Indian Cave State Park, that would be one of the locations included in that one as well. So I'm trying not to neglect other locations. You have this storm, the monster one there, you have the one that went through the Pilger area, and now we need to pay attention probably back here to the southwest and west of Fremont with this one trying to rotate as well. Doesn't look very well defined, but there could be something in there west of Fremont. We can look at the debris signature. Again, not incredibly well defined, and the winds aren't showing the classic signature, but it's close to the radar. So if it's going to be there, we're going to be able to see it. And that would be west of Fremont. This one, radar indicated with some golf ball size hail in it as well. Dodge and Saunders County, including up into western Washington as well. I show you that, Emily, because that is the same area where this last one just went. From North Bend up here towards Yuling and Oakland. That is moving through. So there's another one right behind it. Those that may be assessing damage could be right in the path of more dangerous weather as well. So if you're in these areas and you're getting warning information, you need to pay attention to every little bit of it, even if you think it might be an error, because that is another tornado that's coming possibly from the southwest. But there it is. There it is. It's wobbling back and forth. We play this. Watch this blue dot. There it goes. That's the tornado right there. And now it's heading towards Oakland, Nebraska. I hope it stays just to the west of Highway 77. It's going to be close, but it is running parallel to Highway 77 right now. Oakland, Nebraska would be next in line for this one as it's moving through. As you can see here, a little less of a debris signature, but still plenty of rotation with this one. You can see it spinning right here. There's the wind going away from the radar. There's the wind going towards the radar. And that is the classic signature with it moving through, almost a little donut hole shape right there. And now it's just pouring in Yuling at the moment as well. Anything new over there, Emily?
So far, nothing new coming in just yet. A little note on that, though, the National Weather Service just putting out that the tornado is cycling, so it's showing some brief signs of weakening. That's what Rusty was pointing out with that debris signature, how it was getting a little bit smaller as it was making that approach toward Oakland. But as it turns north and that rain runs into it, we might see it weaken a little bit further. And that would certainly be good news for the Oakland area as that storm continues to make its way out to the north. Right now, they're saying it's going to currently track just west of Oakland, but keep in mind, Rusty was showing the motion of that, and it has been wobbling. So it's very important to note that although right now could wind up just west, if it wobbles back to the east, that does bring us a little bit more of a severe threat back toward Oakland. But this is, I pulled up the debris signature here. Here's where it is right now. Certainly less defined than what we were looking at just a minute ago. So that is good news that we are seeing some signs of weakening. However, it could strengthen again. So you just stay in your safe place until this tornado warning is lifted, until it passes your area. We have more coming in from the southwest. That live radar picture, as we take that zoomed out view, we have another warning just down to the southwest. And this one here, this is what we're going to be looking out for that potential for more activity, more tornadic activity potentially to move right through the same places. And right now, this is just out to the west of Fremont. It does include portions of Fremont, so you want to stay in your safe place as this storm continues to travel out to the northeast. Pulling up the query on that, this is going to run until 7 o'clock tonight. Cedar Bluff's in the path of this storm, Hooper, Nickerson, Platte, and if it stays on track, the same areas that are dealing with a tornadic threat now or just saw that threat pass could be dealing with another one as we move past 7 p.m. So this is going to be a very dangerous situation for the remainder of the evening until these storms make their way out. So let's take that look on our live radar picture here. Zoom out, see what we're talking about. We have two sections of this storm that we're watching. So this line of storms, it has split right around the metro. So likely if we see anything, it's going to be a clip through portions of northern Douglas County from the southern edge of this northern section that we're watching as we move through the next hour and a half or so. That's kind of the time frame to look out for. Down to the south, also very active. We don't want to forget about the rotation that we're seeing impacting the Rockport area. Tornado warning in place here. Some flooding potential as well. This tornado warning, let's get the latest on that. That's going to run here until 6:30. So just another 5 minutes. We'll see if they continue that. On the other side of the river, that runs until 7 p.m. So that'll be for another half hour or so with that threat for a potential tornado as well as large hail. That hail threat is still a huge concern. And as we pick that up, we take that wide view. You can see where we have several hail cores with these storms. A pretty impressive one very close to Fremont. Let's zoom in on that. Another one just off to the north of Wahoo. This is the reason behind this severe thunderstorm warning here. This is what's could be headed toward North Bend very shortly. So let's zoom in, take a closer look at exactly what we're dealing with in terms of potential hail. Close to 1.5 inch hail possible as that storm continues to track north. And we also have some large hail just north of Highway 30. That's part of that tornado warned storm as well. Anything new, Rusty?
Well, you were talking about cycling with this storm. I want to explain to the viewers what exactly that would be. So we have this area of rotation right here between Yuling and Oakland, just to the west of Highway 77. And you can see really well in the wind, you got the reds and the greens going away here. That's some really strong, we call this gate-to-gate shear. So that's about 130 miles per hour of gate-to-gate shear with that. I know getting kind of nerdy there with some of the terms, but it looks like at least that tornado has weakened a little bit. There's still something there, but what would happen is this one would weaken and we could see another one start getting going maybe just to the east of that if they cycle. So that would be something to watch. The old tornado could dissipate and the new one could pop up just to the east. So anybody right along Highway 77 between Yuling and Oakland, still get in your safe place in Oakland. This one is slowed down a little bit. I'm looking at the clock here. At least through 6:45, I would say be in your safe place. The warning goes through 7, but again, considerable damage from this storm, and there's likely some very, very large hail up to 1 inch in diameter being blown around by whatever wind is there as well. So please don't go try and see or chase the tornado. We might be seeing that. There's that last little vestige of this tornado right there west of Oakland. That's Highway 77. That's Highway 32 that it's getting ready to cross right there. So this is not done by any means. And we're watching, you can even see it in the reflectivity. Look at that little arch right there. There it's spinning right through here. There's something right in there, right around where it's crossing Highway 32 just to the west of Oakland. And that is the thing. But Emily's mentioned about the Omaha area. Let me show you something of note here too. This right here looks to be the front. It's not through yet. And it's going to go through here between now and, what do you say, 8 o'clock, Emily? Maybe?
I would say so, yeah. That's
Could be
where we are going to be looking for the time frame, yeah.
there could be new storms pop along this. We're not done yet. There's plenty of time left for this to pop new storms and continue to produce tornadic activity. What might be happening here is the clouds that are being sent off of this storm are kind of stabilizing the atmosphere over the Omaha Metro, and then we get a little more instability move in here from the southwest. So what we're watching here is the potential for a few more storms to get going.
And I do want to bring up that storm down to the south, the one that's getting ready to cross over the river near Rockport. We have our Severe Studios team on that one.
Perfect.
And if our producers can pull up the video on that, it looks like we have a wall cloud. Okay, I can see it back up in the background, and at least what I was seeing when I was looking at it just a minute ago looked like we had some lowering with that. And this is where we do have another tornado warning. So just keeping a close eye on this. We don't want to forget about those storms down to the south. They're not as numerous and they haven't caused as much damage, but still bringing in that potential threat toward Rockport here within the next half hour as this storm gets ready to cross over the river. This is where it is right now. You can see those brighter red shades where we have the strong part of the thunderstorm and that potential also, again, for tornado development, some rotation. It's not showing up very clearly on our wind speeds, but looking at the video, at least what I was seeing just a minute ago, it did look like we had some signs of lowering with that.
Yeah, and that tornado's still there, Emily. It'd be north of Highway 32. I believe that'd be western Burt County. Yeah, western Burt County. It does appear that the worst may end up going just to the west of Oakland. Not great for people that live west of Oakland, but it may miss another town and stay in rural areas. So it just west of Ewing, just west of Oakland. It's been hanging just west of Highway 77, and it's going to continue to go in that direction. Once we get up here near Lyons, this starts to get outside of our viewing area, and there may not be people able to get our television signal up there. So this would start to go maybe a little farther north up into the Sioux City area. But this is what we'll watch here for the next couple of frames and just see how well it holds as it moves on through. There's definitely a tornado still there. On all these colors you see here, that's likely the debris up in the cloud. That's it right there. There's your tornado just to the west of Oakland, still going strong. Let's take a little wider view now. And we've got to keep an eye on a lot of other things here. We have this tornado warned storm down here. Not looking quite as impressive. We also have this up here that's just exiting our viewing area to the north, up here near Wayne, but that would likely be just outside of our coverage area, so we might be done with that one. I think our focus is going to be that storm up there near Oakland still, and then seeing what we can get going with this guy right here with the warning that goes through 7 o'clock. So we'll be interested to see if that keeps going. But it's staying on the west edge of Fremont, likely not much happening right now with this one. Let's look at some of the storm reports and see what we have. You can see how this one tracked. And there it goes, right up there near Oakland, west of Oakland. We'll click on a couple of these here, and you can see tornado report there near Hooper, multiple vortex tornado at 5:57, and then it just kept going. Wow, anticyclonic tornado orbiting the main one. Did you see that, Emily?
Yeah.
Basically a tornado spinning in the opposite direction around the main tornado going counterclockwise. That's a first. All right. There might be people that want to study that one.
I've seen some reports also. West Point just lost power, so this is a reminder for you. If you are close to any of these strong thunderstorms now, make sure you have a way to watch us or get those warnings, get those updates if you lose power. You can live stream us on your cell phone. You can do anything like that. You have a weather radio. That's going to be a great resource with these strong storms, especially with the wind that we've been seeing. We've seen some reports of power lines being damaged. That's going to be a concern moving forward tonight. We still have a big tornado threat for a lot of areas this evening. So very important that you are able to stay on top of those warnings tonight.
Let's go to storm chaser Brandon Kopic, and there's a live look at that storm still up there near Ewing, likely now up near Oakland. Still tough to see. There's a lot of rain wrap. That's what makes this one incredibly dangerous too. You're not going to be able to see where on earth this thing is if you're trying to find it. That's what makes storm chasing dangerous. That's what gets some storm chasers in trouble. But we have some experienced ones that are trying to get us some better pictures. So we know that storm west of Highway 77 likely going to miss Oakland. And this is a very impressive one that continuing to go. And some pretty impressive video there you just can't see what's going on, unfortunately. And I hope there's a lot of people that are able to get out of the way of this one. This has been doing some damage all the way from southern Dodge County right up across Highway 275 and then making its way west of Highway 77 with our storm chaser Brandon Kopic there. I understand our own Brent Weber is back in Fremont just kind of hunkering down. And then once it's safe, we'll probably send him up there to see what we can get picture-wise and video. But in the meantime, best to keep as many people as we can out of harm's way as of right now with this one that is moving off to the north. And still very clear signs that this thing is rotating like crazy. They're west of Oakland as of right now. Probably better keep an eye on some other ones. Emily, if anything down to the south with this one.
You know, I was looking at the radar wind speed down to the south, and I really wasn't seeing much of anything too clear. Yeah. You were just showing this. This is what's rotating very clearly out to the west of Oakland. And as we travel down to the south, you can see it's just not as defined as far as rotation. We'll zoom out here. We do have some signs that there is some rotation within this storm, but it's not the same where we're seeing that clear spot where we have likely a tornado on the ground. Kind of looks a little bit jumbly, gets a little bit harder to detect when we're very close to the radar site, and that is fairly close. That's just down in Valley. But this storm, like many of them, have been turning, have been rotating, and as that continues to travel north, we could see that hold together and unfortunately maybe produce another tornado similar to what just has gone through a few areas out there to the north of this storm tonight. So right now, not seeing any clear signs of rotation on radar. Are you seeing anything concerning with this, Rusty?
If they have a chance in the back, one of the severe studios chasers, Freddie McKinney, might be on that tornado up around Oakland too. He might be worth checking to see if we have some video coming in from that location. But there's still some little pockets of wind that are noteworthy with that one that is northwest of Fremont. So it's right down here. That is likely a pretty large hail core in there northwest of Fremont. And this is the same path that tornado that we were talking about north just took. And now we have possibly some 1 to 2 inch diameter hail going right over some of those same locations at the moment. So you add that to the fact that there could be some wind still whipping around right here with wind gusts to 56 miles per hour back towards the radar.
Now, I just missed a call from our chaser, Brandon, so I'm going to give him a call back, see what that's about, so we can cut my mic. I'll get in touch with him.
Yeah, so there might be something trying to happen here northwest of Fremont as well. I'm glad we sent Brent Weber back to Fremont. He needed to probably get out of the way of this one, too. So that could be tornado number 2, passing really close to some of the same areas as of right now. But this guy right up here west of Highway 77, so it missed Oakland. Oakland, it looks like you might be in the clear from that one. Now, Lyons, Nebraska. If you know anybody watching in Lyons, there it is. It doesn't get any clearer than that. That's the tornado again. So it cycled. It formed in the same spot where it was. It went away for a little bit, and now it's right back there. So it makes it a little easier. It's not jumping around, but you look over the
Rusty, I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a large tornado about to come into Lyons. He's literally driving through Lyons right now, Brandon, and says he sees people outside.
Oh my goodness.
Get inside.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this one, folks. It's impossible. It's rain wrapped.
I got to hop off, Emily.
Okay, thank you so much.
Be safe, Brandon. Thank you very much for the reports, man. If this is heading towards Lyons, there it is. And, okay, let me pause the radar here. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see here. We draw
And
here.
we have his picture. He's driving through the town, so we can take that as well.
There's the circle. There's where the tornado is. It's in there. All of that is rain. You are not going to be able to see anything. That is rain. There's hail. please, if you're in Lyons, know anybody in Lyons, get in your basement. Do not be out there trying to see or chase the tornado. That is dangerous. That's how people get hurt. And I know we love to have pictures, but don't be that person right now. We need you in your safe spot as best you can anywhere in western Burt County. This is very, very serious. You don't see many things like this. We haven't for a while, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you can see the debris signature really clearly. This is just down to the south and west of Lyons. This is traveling northeast. Our chaser on the ground saying it's headed towards you. A large tornado, a dangerous tornado. So if you are not in your safe place, if you're not at the lowest level of your home, make sure you are. This is a live look from inside Lyons where this tornado is headed, and you need to be seeking shelter immediately. He said he was driving through town, seeing people outside. Call your friends if you're watching us, let them know. Get inside, get to your basement, let this storm pass through. We've already had 2 reports of homes being hit. Thankfully, everyone in those homes were in the basement and are okay. But this is a dangerous storm, continues to produce dangerous tornadoes, and that's traveling north and getting ready to move right through Lyons, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just going through Twitter and seeing pictures of where this was prior. This started as kind of a cone tornado, turned into a wedge, and then you have this rain-wrapped monster in there that nobody, even trained meteorologists, don't know where this is if you're right by it. You just know it's in there somewhere, and you stay away. That's the best way to describe it. You get out of the way, let it do its thing, and you hope nobody gets hurt or even worse. So you're here, Oakland to Lyons, north on Highway 77. A little better view gets you up here. There's Burt County right in here. I know it's starting to turn into a mess here. There's Burt County. It goes up here. There's Thurston County. There's where you cross the bridge there, Decatur to Ottawa. If you're trying to get through, I know when we had the flooding, that was a popular route to get through up there. But there's the rain-wrapped tornado, and it would be heading to the north as of right now. Some areas, even in Iowa, need to start paying attention to this one too. From Ottawa to Whiting to Sloan, could be in this one if it holds on, and it has shown no signs of stopping. When it gets rain-wrapped like this, it's possible that the rain could start to wear it down a little bit, but you get these, what we call RFDs, rear flank downdrafts, and it can kick the wind out, dry things out, and like you said, these can cycle a little bit. So there you go. It's this little guy. It's right in there between west of Highway 77 near Lyons. I'd say Lyons and Bancroft, both locations, need to be in their basement right now. Mobile homes, horrible idea. If you know anybody in a mobile home, try to get them to a safe place as quick as possible up there. All right, let's go back to, there you go. There's Brandon again with pouring rain. You think you can see a tornado in that?
No.
Not even close.
And this has held together for quite some time, or at least the reports of tornadoes with this storm has. I pulled up the tornado reports, and I've tracked that all the way from North Bend, and now we know it's up in Lyons. This has traveled over 35 miles, producing tornadoes, not necessarily a continuous tornado, but producing tornadoes. Tornadoes have been spotted. We know that there's one headed your way. But this is the reason that, you know, the reports stopped near Oakland. You can't see it. It's impossible to see. So it's impossible to observe a tornado when we have the rain like we have now.
So yeah, let's just keep that there. You see how the direction of the flag's starting to change a little bit there? I'm not sure which way he's looking, but those flags were pointed on the right side of the screen. Now they're coming back towards him. I hope he knows where he's at and can be safe. It does look like right now, I would say maybe just the worst to the west of Lyons, barely, but I don't think it's worth taking the risk, to be honest with you. If you're in and around Lyons, you need to be in your safe place. If you have a postal address of Lyons, you get your mail at a Lyons, Nebraska address. That encompasses a fair amount of area outside of that city as well. You need to be in your basement. This is no joke. I want to focus, I don't want to neglect the one down here west of Fremont. I'm not seeing incredible rotation with this, which is good. We put it back here. The warning goes through 7. Radar indicated that's some golf balls with 1.75 inch diameter hail. We flip back over. It's probably, if it's going to be there, north of Ames, northwest of Fremont, so the worst of that one likely misses Fremont. But then again, okay, there's the tornado warning. Watch as I flip over to storm reports. There's where the old tornado went. The new one's trying to go here if there's going to form. It's close. And these areas that just dealt with one may be trying to deal with another. So some of these hail reports likely jumping a little bit here. So between Scribner, Hooper, and Winslow, another hail core going over. So emergency managers, a law enforcement that may be trying to get to some of these places that are trying to help some of the people, they could be in harm's way now too with rain and hail with this next one. So hopefully the Dodge County EMA is keeping people safe, and maybe just in Fremont for a hot second yet before this one goes on through. So let's get a little wider view here. See what we got going up to the north. Yeah, that's still a rain-wrapped thing up there.
Yeah, we were talking about the path of that storm kind of in relation to Lyons.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have it looping for the last 15 minutes here, so you can kind of see a better view of what's going on. You can see this is kind of making a turn out to the northwest. So perhaps a near miss for Lyons, but this is getting ready to move right across the county road here near 25th as well. County Road RS that's getting ready to cross very close to Lyons, maybe just out to the west of Lyons. But you need to stay in your safe place. Even if you are just out to the east of this storm, there is still the potential that we see this wobble a little bit. Also seen it weakening slightly, at least the debris signature is. This is showing us where the tornado is. That's still a debris signature, though.
Yeah.
That means we have a tornado on the ground. So even if there is less showing up, there's still something there. And that can cause damage easily to structures. It can injure, it can kill you. If you are driving out along this road or you know someone that might be traveling home at this time, give them a call, let them know what's going on, have them stay out of this area until that storm passes. That's just getting ready to pass over the county line right now.
Yeah, so you show that little wobble maybe back to the west there, Emily.
Yeah.
Let's include the town of Bancroft as well. So between Bancroft and Lyons, there's the tornado right there. It may wobble a little bit, could go right there. It may try to spin back based on the way the atmosphere's set up. It could try to spin back towards Bancroft as well. I think the worst, like you said, should stay just west of Lyons, but that's County Road RS. Tough to tell if that's a paved road or a gravel road. I would err towards paved. Likely a fair amount of houses along that as well. And something that could easily become a big issue now up towards the city of Bancroft as well. Hopefully Brandon, I assume.
It looks like he's on the move.
Okay, yeah.
And he's traveling on what looks to be a paved road.
Okay, so hopefully he's going up 77. Maybe you can get to Highway 51 and see this thing. Now, Thurston County, that's right on the north edge of our viewing area. We're going to track it as it goes in there. Then it might start to be, we hand it off to the folks in Sioux City at our TV station up there.
I do want to give an update.
Go ahead.
That second tornado warning we were talking about down to the south, they've canceled that. Now we just have a severe thunderstorm warning in place. Let's take a closer look at this. So the good news is we were trying to find the rotation on that storm. It just wasn't as clear as what's happening off to the north. The National Weather Service picked up on that, and now it's mainly a hail concern as this continues to track north. Keep in mind, though, these storms have been rotating easily, forming tornadoes, so there is the potential that we do see some more rotation within this, and they do warn that again as a tornado warning. Threat, though, considerable, almost 2-inch hail possible with this storm. This is going to impact a large area. Burt, Cumming, Dodge, Saunders County, Fremont, you're in this, Hooper, Oakland, and Platte. So some of the areas that already got hit by that first storm, now just going to see a repeat, but mainly a hail and wind threat as that continues to track through. I'll go ahead and pull that warning off so we can see a little bit closer what's going on within that storm. Pulling up that hail tracker, several hail cores within this, and that's going to bring in again that concern for some large hail just down to pretty far out to the south and east of Fremont. We're looking, or southwest of Fremont, I should say, over 1-inch hail possible as we take a look at that hail core there. And then traveling north, just north of 275, headed up towards Scribner, 1-inch hail possible. So very large hail with this thunderstorm as it continues to track out to the north.
Yeah, no. There's still a window, it looks like, Emily, where we could see some more storms develop. But this is what I was talking about earlier, or the last couple of days. Emily's been talking about the whole team. It's not going to be a solid line. We're talking about spotty storms. You got this here, there's one, and there's a little gap right over top the metro where not a lot's happening right now. But that has been quite a tornado to the northwest. Now, what is happening in this front is going this way. And we're seeing it head that direction, and what it'll do is still try to pop a storm or two along it. I don't have a way to bring up temperatures here, but they're likely starting to cool off a little bit back here. We take the tornado watch, and you can see they dropped off some counties here. So it goes through 9 o'clock, but until that front's through, there's still a threat of tornadoes. And it's not done. Again, there's nothing forming, but it does go through 9 o'clock, and I would say we're probably going to be waiting until about 8 o'clock before the threat is likely done in the Omaha metro. So that I want to, again, all the focus has been on that one tornado up here, but we got to keep assessing things. And even if we send this back about an hour or so, let me play that for you. You can see how there's still new development right up in that. And until that front passes, there you go. You get a couple of new storms popping and going right up in that. And any one of these right on the south edge, as it feeds into this, it's going to have nothing in its way and could start to rotate on its own as well. So you got to look at the tail end of any of these storms that are moving through. So let's pause that and we'll go right in close here. Again, not seeing any major rotation, so that's great news right around those locations.
And let's talk about that new development you were mentioning. I have one of our short range models pulled up, and it's actually picking up on that pretty well. So let's take a look at that. Can we pull that up? There we go. So watch what happens as we jump ahead to about 8. Do you see what's popping up just out to the west of the metro? That's out along that boundary. That's going to try and travel out to the east. So we aren't necessarily done with that storm threat. Tries to pull something into the metro between 8 and 9 p.m. We could see the timing shift a little bit, but I just want to make you aware that we still have that potential for maybe an isolated thunderstorm to pop up, and that would bring a severe weather threat to the metro later on tonight.
Yeah, so a lot to watch. You can maybe even see, I guess that's probably the Elkhorn River right there. You can get some isolated little outflows that kind of cause things to be maybe a little quieter, but until we get in the clear with that, there's going to continue to be moisture feeding into these, and then we got to get this front through here, and that would be the end of the threat. You get behind this front, like you can see with the watches, tornado watch, they dropped it, that means the threat is done. So we're gonna go ahead.
We do have Brandon on the phone. He was talking about that tornado threat for Lyons. No damage reported, is that right?
That is correct. No damage in Lyons. It appears that right before coming into town, the tornado did occlude and died out just in time. Made a hard left turn and avoided the town. No damage on County Road, RS, or North.
Oh, that's good.
Good news.
Wow. Yeah,
And
you can see there.
Where are you headed now?
Currently heading back east into Lyons. There's a lot of emergency vehicles moving east to west on this road, this county road, but we're not able to find any damage, thankfully, from this tornado. We're likely going to head south at this point towards the next storm in the line, which is indicating a little bit of low-level rotation, although not tornado warned right now.
Thank you. We'll check back in with you later. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Brandon was right on top of that. Thank you very much, Brandon. All right, new tornado warning popped up somewhere. I'm trying to figure out exactly what we're dealing with here. I believe it might be that one. Yeah, it goes through 715, radar indicated tornado. This is down here between Auburn and Rockport. Again, these are radar indicated, no confirmation with this one. You look at the debris signature, there may be a little something right in here. Tough to say. So between Auburn and Rockport, this is the Missouri River right here south of Nebraska City. And we can flip back over to the radar and you play this and there could be a little something there. It's the tail end of all of these you got to watch for. There could be a little rotation in that. And until we get that front through here, this is what we basically need to watch. Now there's 2 storms in our area. There could be a little bit of rotation. Let's see what he was trying to talk about here. Yeah, back here near Fremont. There could be something. We'll have to watch right in here and maybe on the tail end. So it looks like it might be quieting down just a little bit in that regard, and that tornado has since weakened off to the northwest as well.
Yeah, the good news is we have his live stream. He's on that storm. So if visually we're starting to see something on the ground that we're not able to see with our radar wind speeds or on radar, we should have a report. So you want to stay with us through the night as we continue to track that potential maybe for a little bit of rotation with this system. But I would say at this point, at least, it is more of a hail threat than a tornado threat with this severe thunderstorm that's just out on the far west end of Fremont, continuing to travel out to the north and east. So several hail cores here, and it looks like those northern ones do have maybe some of the largest hail within them. Let's take a look at this just south of Yuling. Estimating about 1.5 inches hail here. And then this just down to the south and east of Oakland, about 1.25 inches, approaching 1.5 inches. So we do have that hail threat with these thunderstorms as well. Don't want to forget about that. That's also going to be a big concern out there today as we continue to track that line of thunderstorms, making that pretty slow progression at this point out to the east. So that time frame really has slowed down quite a bit with that front just not making as much progress.
All right. Let's I've been looking at a few other things here. Let's go back to some of the reports. Emily, there was a new tornado warning that just came in. If you can, among the mess here, try to figure out exactly which one that was.
Looks like down to the south.
Okay.
That has to be what it is.
Okay. Well, you look at some of the damage reports here. 523 in Ames, Nebraska. Some home damage there near a tornado. Oh, you got the Ames? Okay. Well, they said they have a picture of this one here. I'm going to bounce around a little bit more. Another damage report that came in that was rather noteworthy. This is just west of Oakland in Burt County. This was a substantial farmstead damage. Okay, there's
wow.
That was wow. Yeah, now look at that tornado as it went through the Ames, Nebraska area. A lot of dry dirt there. Farmers losing some topsoil, but that's about it. Hopefully from that area. Okay, Chris Osterwinkel from near Wahoo. So, yeah, I guess this thing did start probably in northern Saunders County and then lifted that direction. And so thank you very much for the pictures. That's the way to stay out of harm's way if you can tell where the tornado is. Rain-wrapped tornadoes are nothing to mess with. That one was plain as day. All right, so we had that, and you can see the reports here that went basically from near North Bend all the way up here until it dissipated and fizzled just to the west of Oakland, which is right there. So there is likely a lot of work ahead, checking on areas for Douglas County emergency managers, Douglas County sheriffs, as they're going through Dodge County and up into western Burt County as well with this one.
And we're getting some reports on that as they do damage assessments. The Dodge County home, the first home that was damaged, that was out at County Road 13. The house is damaged and not livable. The second home that was damaged, that was County Road 13 as well. Damage to windows and siding, but the house is livable. A lot of power line damage in the area. A lot of those are down, and they're still doing damage assessments around Scribner and Yuling. So more to come on that. And another update from the National Weather Service just coming in. The long track tornado finally has dissipated.
Okay, good. I thought you were pertaining to this one. There's a brand new tornado warning through 7:45, Emily. This one radar indicated possibly some 2.75, I believe that's baseball size hail with this one. That would be right in here and with that portion as well. And radar estimates not doing a great job of picking up on that, but sometimes the actual reports in the field can do a little better job of telling us what's going on. So if there's going to be a tornado, it's likely right here, southwest of Takema. Hey, there you go.
And that's moving northeast at 30 miles per hour.
Right
I
near Yuling,
have that
too.
southern storm pulled up right now. We can go back to Rusty's picture. I was just adding to what he was talking about.
Yeah, so there's Yuling. The previous tornado warned storm was over here. Now this one's east of Yuling, and we flip over, possibly seeing a little bit. This could end up being hail up around the Yuling area as well. Likely this hail core that moved up north here. So that's that portion of the radar being tricked a little bit. But if there's going to be a tornado, it could end up being just southeast of Yuling here. This is the corner of Washington, Burt, and Dodge County, now east of Highway 77. And been quite a night for folks along, or afternoon for folks right along Highway 77 north of Fremont. So we have this tornado warned storm right now that is going here, and there's likely some very, very strong wind heading back south. We could sample this, and there we go, 64-mile-per-hour wind dropping due south, and then you have this trying to rotate. Red is away from the radar, green is towards the radar, and there you go. It's like putting a marker between your hand, running your hands in opposite directions. What does that marker do? It spins, it rotates, and that's what we see as of right now. So we'll have to watch this area, zoom in a little closer, maybe pick up on some of the county roads here. There's Yuling, strongest rotation probably just to the east of Yuling, north of County Road F here in, that would be Dodge County, I believe. So
and there is some concern that they have baseball-size hail possible with this storm, that it's actually a little bit larger is what the National Weather Service was saying right near Yuling. So this chunk of the storm right here producing incredibly large hail, possibly larger than baseball-size hail. So not only are we talking about that tornado threat for some potential development here as we move through the next, what does that run, next half hour or so?
Yeah, I think it went through 7:45 is what the...
Next 45 minutes?
Yeah.
But also a large hail threat. So this is going to be a damaging storm regardless, and you do want to be inside as this passes through.
So the old warning with that storm, that incredibly strong tornado, has just been allowed to expire here at 7 o'clock. Now we're watching this one fire up and try to rotate a little bit more. It's going to be right there, probably staying just to the west of Tekamah, I would say, crossing Highway 32 through Blair County, or through Burt County. Let's clear that off here. Take a look at the hail core, debris. No clear indication, but it's going to be in there somewhere just to the east of Yuling, the way I would picture it now. We're waiting on probably another scan of the radar to tell us a little bit more. Take a little wider view here. And we've got to keep checking west of the metro, see if anything's going to pop up. But again, there's the front right through here. Trying to get a little bit closer, probably through the Lincoln area. And the threat's ending there. We'll see if that's the last storm. Sometimes these can pop up right around the 6, 7 o'clock hour and keep on going too. But then you got this down here near Rockport too, trying to rotate still. Again, pretty unorganized. That could be a product of being quite a ways away from the radar. But just to the west of Rockport, if you know anybody traveling on I-29 right now and they haven't quite got to maybe Hamburg yet, they're heading south, I'd tell them to pull off the road and wait a little bit, let this one roll through. There's likely a pretty good chunk of hail going to cross over I-29 here in the next half hour, 45 minutes. That's getting close to golf ball, and that could be underestimating a little bit. So between Hamburg, which is right about there, and Rockport, that one will be crossing I-29, bringing some large hail with it as well, and possibly a rotating thunderstorm too as you move off towards the northwest. So now this warning for the Fremont area goes through 7:30, some considerable damage due to hail possible, but that is just outside of the Fremont area as of right now. We'll take it a little wider view here, get our bearings. That's storm showing a little better sign of rotation there, Emily?
I was checking on the temperatures. Still haven't seen anything really cool down. So looking at the temperatures now, most locations are still in the 80s. We have dropped to the 70s around York. Lincoln, though, still at 84. And I have the wind speeds pulled up here.
There you go.
You'll notice something kind of interesting happening here. We do have a north wind coming in around Columbus, but we're still picking up on a southerly flow, even for spots like York and Beatrice, where we have this kind of boundary setting up here. So still some warm air coming in. We have to wait for that colder air to kind of cut off that severe threat tonight. Still plenty of energy to work with here, although they have lifted the tornado watch for a lot of those western counties, picking that up here This is loading, but certain areas are no longer under the threat for severe weather. Pretty clear where that is, but they have started to drop off chunks of that tornado watch out to the west. And that's where we have kind of that shift in wind direction kind of coming in from more like the southwest instead of southeast flow. But we still haven't picked up on that cooler air yet, unfortunately, because that would really kill the severe threat tonight.
Yeah, so still got a little ways yet to go. A good analysis there, Emily. Keeping an eye on this one, western Burt County. We'll see how it goes. There's some pretty good wind in it, I'm not going to lie. That would be 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts, trying to rotate as well. We put latest on the warning info with this. Radar indicated, still keeping an eye on this one as it tries to move through the western part of Burt County. So the previous one just went right up through here, and then this one now trying to go this way, either side of Highway 77. If it's in there, it's going to be right there most likely. But at the moment, still just some rotation. There's probably a lot of storm chasers stuck right here underneath this rain on Highway 77, trying to get east somehow so they can get a better view of this, because all they're seeing right here is rain and hail. And hopefully we can get a picture of this and see if we can see some lowering. Okay, yeah.
He's been traveling back south.
Let's check on Brandon and see. Yeah, that's some driving rain there. It looks like he's probably trying to get repositioned to get a better view of that one as well, to see how this goes. I was wondering what that new tornado warning was. Looks like that's down here to include Falls City, it appears. So we have tornado warning through 7:45. That's an observed tornado on the ground just crossing the Kansas-Nebraska border. So Preston and Rulo, it does look like this one would miss Falls City just to the east. But take a look in here. I wonder if we take a little wider view. I don't know if we have the Topeka radar turned on. Probably not. So it's getting quite a ways away from the radar as of right now. There's a radar down here in Topeka and one in Kansas City that we can use, but we have to get those set up. There's going to be something in here. Rulo, east of Falls City, the way it looks right now. But 1, 2, 3 storms we're essentially tracking. I'm going to hang with you here just for a little bit more, just to see how this one goes to the west of Tacoma as of right now, west on Highway 32. So right in here, something's trying to happen. There's your wind gusts, radar indicated tornado. Pause this here. Been quite an afternoon. There we go. 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That could be a little stronger at the surface. Again, by then you got the radar beam that's pretty high up. It should stay between Tacoma and Oakland, the way that looks, with the latest on the warning showing you radar indicated tornado still. Looks like they just tweaked it and took Dodge County out. So 745 there. Some of the towns in play with that one. Take a little wider view now.
And nothing new on this yet from the National Weather Service. No new reports.
Okay. Oh, hey, there we go. Remember how we said you got to watch out until the front's through? There's another storm popping up right there west of Valley. So we'll see how this goes. It does look like the front's probably right there, best I can tell. So there still could be some storms pop up. Not in the clear yet. I think we probably got to get to about 8:30 maybe.